So, once again, I find myself in an interesting situation, as much like our last special, I have no memory or history with this particular Rankin-Bass special. It was never played on TV when I was growing up, but I do remember seeing it advertised, much like Cricket on the Hearth, as a bonus special on those bargain bin compilation DVDs. Unlike Cricket, though, this one does actually feel more like a bonus, as it's not even a half hour long, but length is definitely not a qualifier for quality. We're once again back with the stop-motion animation for this special, and all the wacky physical comedy charm that comes with that. The story follows a boy named Aaron, the titular little drummer boy, who, after his family is killed by bandits and his farm is burned to the ground, makes a vow to hate all people for the rest of his life, wandering the desert with nothing but his drum and 3 animal companions, a lamb named Baba, a donkey named Samson, and a camel named Joshua. Through a series of coincidences, including being captured by a greedy show caravan, and Joshua being sold to the 3 wise men, Aaron ends up following the Star of Bethlehem, which leads him to the stable where Jesus is born, and plays for him to save the life of an injured Baba. I gotta be honest, this is the first of the specials that I think is actually legitimately kinda good, not on just a nostalgic level or as a curiosity either. Oh, there are problems with it, yes, one of the big ones being its tone. There's a lot of physical comedy in the special, especially early on, that really clashes with the fact that this is one of the more dour, darker Christmas specials that Rankin-Bass made. It is still light enough that I don't think there would be any trouble showing this to a general audience, but a guy dying by having a knife thrown at him and a lamb almost dying from being run over by a chariot were not things I really expected to see in a Christmas special. The lack of a more conversational tone in its narration helps drive home the fact that this special is taking itself much more seriously than the last 2. Greer Garson, a British-American actress popular during the Second World War, acts as our narrator, and she does a very good job delivering a certain level of gravitas to the way the story is told. Despite its attempts at lightening the mood, it takes a very subtle approach to its storytelling. Yes, the story is told simply, but it flows nicely, and there is an actual honest-to-God character arc for Aaron. In that regard, its short length actually helps it, as it keeps the story concise and focused, and it doesn't waste a lot of time delivering what it has to say as it moves from scene to scene. For what it is, the story is told really well. The animation is also much improved from Rudolph. While it's still budgeted and jittery as all get out, the movement is a bit smoother and a little bit more realistic. You see a lot of shots of Aaron running in this special, and to be fair, it's a very well done running animation. The background sets are pretty well done too, when there's stuff going on in them. A lot of the story takes place in a desert, but shots like the ending scene at the manger or the street performance in Jerusalem are well put together and well crafted. This is also the first special where I feel like the music had the best impact. There's a lot less complete silence this time around, and the actual song, Little Drummer Boy, is used several times as scene transition dressing throughout, and it actually works quite well. The sound effects are much more down to earth and nowhere near as overpowering as well. There are only 4 actual songs in this special, which is to be expected given its short length, and while the first 2, When the Goose is Hanging High and Why Can't the Animals Smile, could be pointed at as another issue with the lighthearted tone pushing at the more serious story, they do actually feel pretty appropriate. Goose is Hanging High is a super simple song, but is used to emphasize just how sleazy and greedy and manipulative the character of Ben Haramed is. You could almost call it a villain song, considering he's the closest we have to an actual antagonist in this special. Why Don't the Animals Smile also highlights Aaron's distaste for humanity, and there's a real cynical edge when he asks why animals can't smile, despite him believing that the smiling, laughing crowd he's performing for have no right to be so happy when he is so miserable. The other 2 are much more low-key songs, almost choir-like in their presentation. The first one, One Star in the Night, is a short song about the beauty of the Star of Bethlehem, which is okay, but then the last song of the special is, of course, the song the special is named for, The Little Drummer Boy. And I have to say, for as cheaply made as these specials are, this song is beautifully presented. As Aaron plays a song on his drum for the baby Jesus, as everyone gathered around at the manger listens in silence. It's legitimately a great scene, and a good rendition of the song. Definitely better than what you would get out of Elvis or Johnny Cash, that's for sure. And yes, those covers do exist. So, with all of that being said, why wasn't this special more prolific? Well, I'm not really one to speculate, but considering the more serious, less whimsical, and more biblical implications of the story, I just think it's a little bit too different when put up against everything else in the Christmas special catalog. Again, it's a shame that it's not more well known because, apart from its shorter length, I do think it is a well-told story compared to the first two specials. It's not something that I can see taking the place of some of the other specials as one of my favorites, but it is solid. Just very different than the rest of their output. You done good, Rankin-Bass. Now just don't screw it up, huh?